If when you look at your cat you see a simple pet, you are missing the greatest feat of engineering in feline evolution, a biological design that surpasses the lion in efficiency and makes the cheetah's speed look ridiculous. In this MeowTube video, we will reveal why your cat's behavior, far from being random, proves that you coexist with the most dangerous and sophisticated predator in history, a precision machine that has achieved what no saber-toothed tiger could, conquering you in order to survive. Welcome to MeowTube, the channel for cat lovers. Part 1. The Paradox of the Predator and the Evolutionary Misunderstanding. The impossible image from monster to Michi. Mentally picture the pyramid that structures our thesis today. We are not talking about 3 or 4 steps. We are facing a complex hierarchy of 7 evolutionary levels. At first glance, the classification seems like an insult to biology. Our brain, conditioned by instinct and culture, looks for the bosses in size and brute force. In the first levels, from 1 to 6, we find the sacred monsters of nature. The terrifying saber-toothed tiger, the majesty of the African lion, the solitary power of the tiger, the endurance of the snow leopard, the speed of the cheetah, and the athleticism of the caracal. All of them giants, all of them lethal. And yet, looking down at all these titans from above, at the absolute pinnacle, at level 7 we do not find a half-ton beast, but Felis catus, the domestic cat. That 4-kilo creature that right now might be needing a blanket on your sofa. How is it possible that science considers the domestic cat a superior, more advanced and more dangerous version in terms of survival than 6 of the greatest killers the Earth has ever known? To answer this, we must tear down the myth that prevents us from seeing reality. The myth of misunderstanding. Why don't we understand cats? There is a popular narrative, one you have surely heard or even thought yourself at some point, which dictates that the cat is the most difficult animal to understand. Unlike the dog, whose domestication process turned it into an open book for human beings, modifying its behavior to please and serve us, the cat remains an enigma. A dog, or a lion in a pride, is predictable. A cat is chaotic, ignores us, bites us for no reason. We say they are treacherous, that they are indifferent, or that simply they do their own thing. It frustrates us that one day they seek affection insistently, and the next they reject us with a hiss, or an apparently unjustified bite. We interpret their fixed gaze not as analysis but as contempt. We see their lack of obedience as a lack of intelligence. But this interpretation is profoundly anthropocentric and wrong. The difficulty in understanding the cat does not lie in it being a defective or antisocial animal. It lies in the fact that we are trying to read the software of a high-performance solitary predator with the instruction manual of a social primate. What we perceive as erratic or difficult behaviors are, in reality, the manifestation of instincts so pure and so perfectly preserved that they have not needed to be diluted in order to coexist with us. Here lies the first key to understanding level 7. The domestic cat is a living paradox. It is the only animal that has entered our homes without ceasing to be a wild animal. When we look at a dog, we see a wolf that has renounced much of its wild identity in exchange for security and cooperation. It has lowered its defenses, it has infantilized its mind to depend on us. But when we look at a cat, we are looking at a miniature tiger that has made no fundamental biological concession. The thesis, miniaturization, and efficiency. That difficulty in understanding them, that feeling that they are always plotting something or that they do not really need us, is proof of their evolutionary superiority. They do not need us to survive biologically. They choose to be with us for strategic convenience. While level 2, the lion, depends on the pride to hunt successfully, and level 3, the cheetah, depends on its top speed to avoid starving, the level 7 cat possesses absolute autonomy. Its mind does not operate under the rules of social hierarchy or submission. It operates under the rules of resource optimization and individual survival. Therefore, the premise of this analysis is that the domestic cat is not a mini and watered-down version of its larger cousins. On the contrary, the big cats of levels 1, 2, and 3 represent biological models that, although impressive, are full of inefficiencies, bugs, or design flaws that nature has been correcting over time. The gigantism of the saber-toothed tiger, the gregarious dependency of the lion, and the hyper-specialization of the cheetah are costly strategies. Evolution, in its relentless search for the perfect survival machine, was refining, reducing, and adjusting the prototype until it reached the final design. Your cat is the final software update of the feline line, the perfect version. The domestic cat represents the miniaturization of lethality. Think for a moment about the evolution of technology. The first computers took up entire rooms, consumed monstrous amounts of energy, and had limited processing capacity. Today, we carry devices thousands of times more powerful, efficient, and versatile in our pockets. Exactly the same thing has happened with felines. The saber-tooth was the vacuum tube computer, enormous, costly, and destined for obsolescence. The domestic cat is the latest generation smartphone, compact, with an inexhaustible battery, and capable of running any hunting program in any environment. If you find it hard to understand your cat, if you feel it is indecipherable, it is because you are underestimating the complexity of its design. That behavior we call standoffish or unpredictable is, in fact, a demonstration of cognitive adaptability. A lion will always be a lion. Its behavior is predictable within the savannah. A cat, however, is a psychological chameleon capable of being a ruthless killer of rodents in the morning and an affectionate companion in the afternoon, switching roles without any internal conflict whatsoever. Let us begin by addressing the reasonable doubt you have in your head. How can my cat be more dangerous than an animal that could rip my head off with one swipe of its paw? The answer requires redefining the word danger. If we are locked in a cage with a lion and a domestic cat, it is obvious who will win the direct, physical confrontation. But evolution is not a fight in a cage. Evolution is a long-term war of attrition, a chess game that lasts millennia. And in that game, the real danger is not brute force, but the capacity not to go extinct. Therefore, the next time you look at your cat and wonder what it is thinking, or why it acts in such strange ways, remember that you are not facing a confused animal. You are facing a biological entity that has passed through every filter nature has placed before it. Its strange behavior is the result of having the senses of a super predator confined in a domestic environment. Your cat lives in an enhanced sensory reality that we cannot even imagine. It hears the heartbeat of a mouse behind the wall, smells the pheromones of an intruding cat 2 blocks away, and sees the movement of a dust particle in the semi-darkness. During the next few minutes, we are going to dissect why brute force, size, and extreme speed were evolutionary dead ends, and how your cat is the only one that managed to solve all the previous problems to become the definitive predator. Welcome to Level 7. Before we tear apart the fatal flaws of the big cats, make sure you subscribe to MeowTube so you don't miss any updates. If you think you know your cat, what we are about to reveal will change the way you look at it forever. The evolutionary journey begins. Part 2. The evolutionary ladder, nature's gameplay. If we were to understand evolution as a vast R&D, research and development laboratory, we would see that nature did not arrive at the design of your cat by chance. It was necessary to go through 6 failed or incomplete prototypes before reaching excellence. 6 attempts to create the definitive predator that, although they resulted in majestic animals, contained structural flaws that prevented them from conquering the world. To understand why your cat is level 7, we must climb this ladder rung by rung and see where the giant stumbled. Level 1. The failure of brute force. Smilodon. If we were to understand evolution as a design video game, a vast testing laboratory where the ultimate goal is not to be the strongest, but to be the one who stays in the game the longest, we would see that nature has tried different character configurations over millions of years. Each of these configurations had its theoretical advantages, but also its hidden costs. To understand why your cat is level 7, we must analyze with forensic coldness why the earlier models, despite their spectacularity, present critical design flaws that Felis Catus has managed to patch and resolve. We begin in the basement of history with the Smilodon, or saber-toothed tiger. As we already mentioned, This was nature's attempt to play pure physics, a design based on intimidation. Biologically, the Smilodon or saber-toothed tiger represented the strategy of massive investment in heavy weaponry. Imagine an animal designed exclusively for impact. It was not a long-distance runner, nor even an agile stalker in the modern sense. It was a demolition tank. Its bone structure was dense, its front limbs possessed a hypertrophied strength capable of immobilizing bison or prehistoric camels simply through muscular pressure. And of course, there were its canines, daggers of nearly 20 centimeters designed to cut arteries, and the trachea in one surgical and brutal movement. However, level 1 is the empirical proof that bigger does not mean better. The catastrophic flaw of this design was its energy inefficiency. The Smilodon was an animal with an unsustainable fuel consumption. To maintain its muscle mass and dense bones, it needed to hunt colossal prey with alarming frequency. It was a predator tied to abundance. When the climate changed at the end of the Pleistocene and the megafauna began to disappear, the Smilodon found itself with a problem of metabolic insolvency. Its body was too costly to maintain. It could not hunt rabbits or rodents. The energy expenditure of moving its body exceeded the calories it would obtain from a small prey. It died of success. Its specialization in brute force was its grave. The lesson of level 1 is clear. Dependence on large resources makes you vulnerable to changes in the environment. Level 2. The false royalty, the lion. Evolution tried to correct this. If being a solitary giant is difficult, why not be a social giant? The African lion emerges. Culturally, we call it king, but biologically it is a false monarch. The lion is the only feline that admits it cannot manage alone. Its individual success rate is lamentable, barely 18%. That is a ridiculous figure. Out of every 10 attempts, it fails 8 times. It is too large, its size works against it in terms of stealth, and, comparatively, too clumsy to surprise an agile prey when alone. In fact, it is the lionesses that carry out most of the hunting because they are more agile and faster, being less heavy than the males. Therefore, it needs a pride which implies sharing food, constant fights for leadership, and a social noise that eliminates any element of surprise. Level 2 taught us that depending on others to eat is a risky strategy. If the pride falls, the individual falls. Level 3, the cost of solitary power, the tiger. This is where evolution said, let's make a lion, but one that actually works. And it created the tiger. The tiger, level 3, is what the lion dreams of being. It is larger, heavier, and, unlike the lion, is an effective solitary killer. It does not need friends to bring down a water buffalo. It is the pinnacle of individual strength. The flaw? Territorial logistics. A male tiger needs an exclusive territory of up to 100 square kilometers to survive. It is an animal so demanding of resources that it cannot coexist with anything or anyone. The slightest fragmentation of its habitat condemns it. It is a supercar that needs a perfect road to function. It is powerful, yes, but logistically unsustainable in a changing world. Level 4, the trap of the extreme niche, snow leopard. After seeing that massive size and territory were problems, evolution tried another route, extreme environmental specialization. The snow leopard is born. This animal is a technological marvel. It has broad paws that act as snowshoes, a tail so long and thick that it uses it as a scarf to sleep, and a lung capacity to process oxygen where others would die of asphyxiation. It is the king of the mountain. The flaw? Its perfection is its prison. Level 4 is too specific. If you take a snow leopard down to sea level or into a humid jungle, its system collapses. It has no plasticity. If its environment changes by a single degree, it is doomed. The lesson here was harsh. Being the best in one single place prevents you from conquering all places. Level 5, the trap of speed, the cheetah. At level 5, evolution tried a completely opposite route. If brute force, social size, solitary power, and specialization all have flaws, what about pure speed? Here comes the cheetah, a Acinonyx jubatus, a masterpiece of aerodynamic engineering. Everything in its body, from its non-retractable claws, which act like the spikes of an athletics shoe, to its flexible spine and enlarged nostrils, is designed for running. It can accelerate from 0 to 96 kilometers per hour in just 3 seconds and reach speeds of up to 122 kilometers per hour. It is, without doubt, the fastest land hunter, the Ferrari of the animal kingdom. But, and here is the great but, extreme specialization entails extreme fragility. The cheetah has sacrificed everything for speed. It has sacrificed jaw strength, it has sacrificed defensive muscle mass, and it has sacrificed endurance. After a sprint, its body is at the limit of thermal collapse. It needs half an hour to recover before it can eat. If at that moment a lion arrives, or even a hyena, the cheetah must abandon its prey. It cannot fight. A single injury to a leg, a simple sprain that would merely trouble another animal for a couple of days, is for a cheetah an immediate death sentence. If it cannot run, it cannot eat. Furthermore, the cheetah lives in a state of perpetual anxiety, high cortisol levels. It is a glass predator. Level 3 proves to us that being the best at one single thing leaves you defenseless against everything else. Hyperspecialization is a very risky all-or-nothing bet at the casino of natural selection. Level 6. The athlete without social brain, the caracal. We are close to the finish line. Evolution reduced the size and created a perfect athletic machine, the caracal or the serval. Physically, the caracal is impressive. It can leap 3 meters vertically from a standing position to catch a bird in mid-flight. It is medium-sized, agile, efficient, and solitary. It seemed like the winning design, the flaw, the mental software. The caracal is pure wild instinct, nervous and untamable. It lacks the user interface to interact with other species without violence or fear. It is an Olympic athlete with the emotional intelligence of a rock. It survives well in nature, but it could never infiltrate new ecosystems dominated by other species, such as humans. It was missing the final update, adaptive intelligence. Level 7, the precision machine, Felis catus. And so, after millions of years of correcting errors, we arrive at the final design, the domestic cat. Level 7 is not the strongest, like the tiger, nor the fastest, like the cheetah, nor the most cold-resistant, like the snow leopard, and precisely for that reason, it is superior to all of them. Why is this 4-kilo animal above the giants? Because the cat represents absolute optimization. Evolution realized that size was a burden and decided to miniaturize lethality. Let us analyze its technical specifications. Unlike the Smilodon, the cat has an incredibly efficient metabolic engine. It can survive on minute prey, insects, lizards, mice, which means food is omnipresent. It will never run out of food in the same way a bison hunter would. Unlike the lion, the cat is a perfect solitary operator. It needs no one. Its hunting success rate is astonishing. While the lion celebrates a 20% success rate, some small felines achieve rates above 60% or 80%. They are precision killers. Unlike the fragile cheetah, the domestic cat is a robust all-terrain vehicle. It is the Swiss Army knife of predators. It has explosive speed, but it also has proportional strength. It is capable of jumping 5 or 6 times its own height, something unthinkable for a lion. It has retractable claws that stay sharp as scalpels because they do not wear down when walking, unlike the cheetah. Its flexibility is legendary. Its floating collarbone allows it to pass through any gap that its head can fit through, giving it access to burrows and refuges that are off-limits to levels 1, 2, and 3. It has the solitary independence of the tiger, but in a size that requires only 200 calories a day, not 50,000. It retains the vertical athleticism of the caracal, but with a flexible body capable of fitting into any gap, and it possesses the climatic adaptability that the snow leopard lacked. It thrives in the Egyptian desert, in the winters of Russia, and in the air conditioning of your home. That adaptability is the real power. Buenos Aires, Madrid, Mexico City. The cat has conquered the entire world. When you watch your cat sleeping placidly in the most comfortable spot in the house, you must understand that you are not seeing a lazy pet. You are seeing a veteran of the evolutionary war who has won every battle. It has overcome the size trap, it has overcome the specialization trap, and it has overcome the trap of human competition. It is the only feline that increases its population year after year, while lions and tigers disappear. In purely biological terms, success is measured in numbers and expansion. And by that metric, the domestic cat is not only level 7, it is the final boss of the game. If the biological superiority of your cat over the lion has surprised you, give this video a like to acknowledge its level 7 status. But don't get complacent, because its most lethal weapon is not its claws, but how it has managed to hack your mind in the next phase. Part 3. The final hack. We have seen how biology refined the feline body up to level 6. But the leap to level 7 was not physical. It was psychological. Felis Catus did something that neither the tiger with its strength nor the leopard with its stealth dared to do. Look the planet's super predator, the human, in the eyes and say, "I am going to make you work for me." Here lies the true danger and genius of your cat. We enter the phase of asymmetric psychological warfare. The language hack, surpassing the caracal. While the caracal, level 6, flees from humans or hisses at us, the domestic cat developed an exclusive communication technology, the modulated meow. As we mentioned, cats in the wild barely vocalize. Your cat, however, has developed a vocal range capable of mimicking the cry frequency of a human baby, between 220 and 500 hertz. This is not coincidence, it is evolutionary design. By emitting this sound, your cat hijacks your cerebral amygdala, activating the urgent care instinct. The tiger roars at you to frighten you, the cat meows at you to control you. Who is more intelligent? The conquest of space, surpassing the tiger. The tiger, level 3, needs 100 square kilometers of virgin jungle. Take away one tree and it suffers. Your cat has managed to condense its territorial instinct into your 60 square meter apartment without losing its sanity. But don't be mistaken, it has not given up being a territorial predator. It has redefined the territory. Through facial marking, familiarity pheromones, and scratching, visual marking, your cat has turned your home into its jungle. Energy management, surpassing the cheetah. The cheetah, level 5, lives stressed, always on the edge of energy collapse. Your cat has perfected the art of rest. It sleeps between 12 and 16 hours, not out of laziness, but out of tactical efficiency. It is a potential energy accumulator. It keeps its batteries at 100% so it can switch from nap mode to killer mode in 0.2 seconds. This ability to switch its nervous system on and off at will is something no other feline possesses with such mastery. It lives in a constant state of alert relaxation. The invisibility shield, surpassing the lion. The lion, level 2, is visible, noisy, and obvious. It is an easy target for hunters. The domestic cat has opted for social camouflage. Its adorable appearance, neoteny, large eyes, flat face, acts as a force field. We have amended laws, built hospitals, and created a multi-million-dollar industry just to protect them. They have achieved global diplomatic immunity. While the rest of the levels struggle against extinction, the level 7 cat population continues to grow exponentially. They have won the evolution game by a landslide, so the next time you see your cat chasing a red dot or sleeping in a cardboard box, do not underestimate it. You are looking at the ultimate survivor, the one who saw the brute force of level 1 fail, the one who saw the solitude of level 3 collapse, the one who witnessed the fragility of level 5. Your cat is level 7, the Grand Master, a creature that carries in its DNA the memory of all past mistakes so as never to repeat them. It is a pocket tiger, a living room leopard, and a well-mannered caracal, all compressed into a 4-kilo package that has decided that for now it will let you live in its house. But beware, because even though it is level 7, deep in its reptilian brain, the voices of the previous levels are still whispering. And sometimes, just sometimes, your cat responds to one of them. Do you want to know which one? Find out in the test we have prepared in the publications section. In the end, coexisting with a level 7 is a privilege. You share your home with the masterpiece of evolution. We would love to know which ancestral spirit dominates in your living room. Leave us a comment about whether the test revealed an impetuous tiger, a lion, or the ultimate strategist. If you want to keep decoding the secrets of the most fascinating mind in nature, subscribe to the channel and join us in the next analysis. Thank you for understanding the true greatness of your cat. If this journey has fascinated you, join us to reveal the next great mystery of the feline kingdom.